Yeah, baby, we're starting the podcast right now. We're back. You know what, dude? Live. Welcome, everybody, to the show. YKWD. I started social media and podcasting. The fact. The YKWD podcast. YKWD's back again. Old school, back in the day, where it all started. Before them all. YKWD. This podcast is so fun and crazy. It has no rules. Shut up. You're ruining this.
Where's the bandana, man?
Sorry, it's a comedy podcast. This isn't NPR.
That's what this podcast does.
Is there any better show? This is the original. Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy, the dude, Papa King. I'm back. We're live. I'm back from the woods. I made it, kind of. And we're here at the Comedy Cellar Studios above the world's famous Comedy Cellar. And I'm very happy to see all my fucking people. Danny, Joe. What's that new guy's name?
Zach.
Ugh. He's got to work on his tone, guys. I mean, fucking dude, he sounded like a frat boy. Zach.
That was Joe saying Zach's name.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, fucking say it better, Joe. Don't try to be Zach. Zach. Where's Zach? Let me hear Zach.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, okay, yep. Joe, you do him from now on.
No problem.
We have a great show tonight. I'm very excited about this because I just went through some of the stuff, making something myself, and it's I kind of want to get it out, and fucking only people who make shit, movies and TV or whatever, produce something, know what the fuck just happened to me. Danny, who do we got?
We have Ryan Reiss and Pete Demas on the podcast.
Now, I've known Ryan for a while. I've known you not as close, not as much.
Not as close, but around.
Around for a long time. And you made a movie.
Correct.
And I was just reading, I mean, this is crazy. Leslie Jones, big. Billy Gardell, fucking crazy. Judd Apatow, Ray Romano, John Oliver, Seth Meyers, Amy Schumer, Neil Brennan, T.J. Miller, Rami Youssef, Rachel Ray, Jim Gaffigan, Howie Mandel. I mean, Bob Saget. Wow, you got Bob. Wow,
Yeah.
Gotta do this, guys. Mark Summers, Colin Jost. I don't see, where is the, hang on one second, must be here. Danny, I don't think you printed all the names.
Was there a big one missing?
I don't see, I mean, there's a definite actor that is.
Someone like the guy, wasn't the guy that played Louis' brother on Louis?
Oh, yeah, me. I'm not in this. Never asked to be in it. I mean, I'm not, this is a fucking mistake, right? I wasn't available. What happened? You guys called.
You have to ask that guy.
We didn't have access. I had to go through Danny to get on this thing. I mean,
you can fucking.
I've known you for 20 years. I don't have your number.
You don't have my number?
I don't have your number, man.
Fuck you.
No?
Really?
No.
Well, just ask for it, you loser. I see you all the time. I see you so much. Hey, dude, what's your number? We've exchanged cigars.
We have, yes.
I get cigars and bring them in when I know you're going to be there. We have a cigar bond. You know what type of bond that is between men? That's a heavy bond.
It's a prison marriage.
I mean, I don't know. So let me ask you a question. Please tell everybody about this movie. Tell everybody what's it about. We're live right now. Who came up with the idea?
That would be Ryan.
You came up with this. So you go from idea to how. Then where do you go?
It's been such a long journey, this whole movie. I do warm-up comedy.
Yep.
And I had just done a late-night set.
To tell people you do warm-up for?
I work for a late night with Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
I'm the opening comedian.
And people that don't know what that is, and thank God they do it because some shows don't. And Carson Daly didn't. And it sucked to do his show because they didn't understand it. To have a guy go out there before any audience for any show, to go out and get them into a good mood, get them laughing, get them happy is an essential thing to have an audience that will respond when you need them to respond to anything. You know, to get them in that mood because they're coming in, they're waiting in line, they're going through security. This is fucking show. It's like, what the fuck? Then they're sitting there. You have to make them as comfortable as possible so they forget that they're having a good time. Like they could be anywhere. They could be in their living room watching it. And that's your job.
Yeah, you have to engage the audience because there's like Mike Royce said, he's like, we don't really know how to start a TV show. We don't just go start.
Right.
He's like, so that's why you have an opener. You have a warm up that brings the audience into the show.
Right. And that's your job.
That's my job.
And that job is tough.
It's a challenging job, yes.
Because you can't be like, yo, bitch. You can't, right? You can't be, where'd you get that shirt?
Well, I mean, you could, but they wouldn't have you back.
Right.
So, like, no one can tell you how to do it.
Like Joey Cola
Joey Cola's in the movie.
was one of the guys.
In the movie.
I'm not fucking above Joey.
Danny Braff in the movie.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Please tell me that's a lie.
It's a lie.
Oh, God, thanks. You just made my chest curl up. I really did hurt. That fucking hurt. Fuck it. I'll kill him. So, like, I remember talking to him about it, and I would hear about how he was such a great, audience warm-up person because you have to be funny on the fly. You have to deal with different personalities all the time, faces, moods, and you have to get them all to come with you. And then as soon as you do, it's like, let's go, start this thing and get them into it, right?
Yeah, you don't have the luxury of being like, oh, this audience is weird. Like, you can't, they're never weird. They're always great.
You can't blame the audience.
No, never. So it's, usually a comedian does this job, but every TV show has a warm-up.
Yeah.
And they can't tell you how to do it, but when you do it wrong, you're gone.
Wow. It's crazy. I mean, you're done.
Done.
That's it.
You also don't know how long you're doing.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, they go out there with the expectation like, oh, it'd be great if, 10 minutes, but something happens and then you're out there for a half hour. No one's telling you what's going on. No one's even giving you the stretch signal. You're just out there.
How do you know when to get the fuck off?
The stage manager comes out and goes, hey.
Ugh. There's no better way. There's no light that can go on somewhere?
I'm sure they could add one, but they haven't.
Wow. And how did you get this gig?
Jessica Curson.
No shit.
Jessica was warming up a morning show called Mike and Juliet, and she knew me. And she was like, hey, I think you kind of have what it might take to do this. Can you come and watch me? Because I have other gigs, and I need a backup, and I think you'd be good at it.
Right.
So I started going in the morning, just sitting in her morning show.
And watching.
Yeah. And then one day she called me up. She's like, I got a cruise tomorrow. I need the money. You're in.
No shit.
Yeah.
And does it pay good?
It varies depending on who you are. Someone like Joey Cola, like who's, Pete, would you say he's like what? Top two? Top of the
Least
game?
in New York?
Do you do it? Do you do it too?
No.
No. What is your role in
I'm a
this?
filmmaker.
You just make films.
Yeah, I've been doing content and making documentaries since '96.
What type of? Tell me some of your documentaries that we might see.
The first one was called The Third Wave. It's about 4 volunteers that went to Sri Lanka after the tsunami of '04.
Hysterical.
Yeah, the thing is, like, documentaries just tend to be fucking sad.
Yeah.
Like, really sad.
Sure.
And this was the first one that was actually a lot of fun to do.
The tsunami one?
No. I'm saying...
What fucking psycho did you bring into my studio? Dude, it was hilarious. There was still wood piled up. And
Well, no, I'm
I
saying,
found
like,
a baby arm under a fucking car.
I was going from sad documentary to sad documentary, but
Yeah.
with this, I mean, usually when you make a doc, you're interviewing some educator with a beard that's talking about the subject matter.
Right.
With this, you're interviewing comedians, people that have been on camera. Right. Everybody's on. Everybody's telling funny stories. So
tell people about this doc real quick. What's the premise of this? What are you trying to? What's the storyline? What are you telling?
We basically follow Ryan through this world of warm-up comedy. That most people don't even know what is. You asked how we started. Ryan actually just approached me one night in the Fat Black and was like, "Hey, you make documentaries?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Can't ask for my number, but you can fucking ask a guy to make a film. The fuck, dude? Go
And the
fuck
last thing I
yourself.
wanted to do,
What the fuck? I mean, what?
and the last thing I wanted to do was make another documentary. They just keep finding me somehow. Right. And I sat down with Ryan. He's like, "It's about warm up," and of course, I was like, "What's that?" Like everybody's like, "What's warm up?" Mm-hmm. And we talked about it for about an hour, and I was like, "You know what? We might have something here."
Yeah.
As long as he can open up some doors, and I mean, we got everybody.
It's kind of snowballed. I mean, like it started with like, oh, we'll just make like a short thing. I know I can get like 1 or 2 guys, and then like it just kind of grew.
Yeah, I would add because, every comedian wanted to talk to us about it.
Right.
Because warm-up is probably the hardest form. Some will argue it's probably the hardest form of comedy to do. And
Hang on a second. Did you hear that noise? What is that? Is it the AC? Can you shut the AC off?
Yeah, Joe, can you turn the AC off?
Don't tell Joe what to do. Joe, can you hurry though? Can you stop walking like a slug? There you go. Thank you. Fucking assholes. I'm on the show and I figured it out.
so everybody that we were interviewing would be like, hey, have you talked to so-and-so? Have you talked to this person? Have you talked to this person? So it just kept domino effect and domino effect.
Right.
I think we interviewed 93 comedians, television producers.
Should have done 94.
Executives. Yeah, well,
I mean,
that's not my fault.
There's a sequel.
fucking sequel. God damn
I
it.
think we only used about 42 in the movie.
42 people.
Yeah.
Now, because people I always
Did you ever do it?
Yeah.
no, I've never done. Well, let me stop before I answer that. No, because my comedy, dude. I'm a little. I mean, I can get in front of a crowd, and I've hosted here, where when I first started, you kind of had to keep it a little neater than SD. Don't be so dirty up front, and all that shit. But I was always.
Bobby, could you do like a minute of warm up for like a morning TV show, just like what you would do like right now for Kathy Griffin or something like that?
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
What's a morning show?
All right, ready? Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, how you doing, man?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're crossing your legs like that. My aunt used to do that. No, I'm kidding. You look fantastic. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Good.
Yeah, what, did you just get done killing chickens? How's New York? Electricity's nice, right?
Fantastic.
I mean, fantastic. Look at that smile on you. Geez, you really have money, don't you? Your parents are still together. How's that? Was that good?
He's very approachable. I can't understand why I didn't reach out.
All right. but you can't do stuff like that, right?
No.
Now, to give me a little what are the rules, the unwritten rules?
There are no. So whatever the warm up chooses to do when the show starts, like when they start a production, that's becomes the rules because that's what they like.
Right.
So if you set it up in a certain way, if someone comes in after you, they're expected to do it the way you did it.
Oh, right. So you set the
tone.
The tone of it.
The tone. So early on I decided not to curse, but that was my choice. They never asked me to.
Oh, really? Yeah. Do some guys curse?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who curses?
They do?
Yeah. Vince.
I thought he had to be clean. Oh, Vince, yeah.
Vince at the Daily Show. Vince
Forgot
August.
about that.
Oh, well, that's a different vibe, though.
Yeah.
That's a comedy.
But yeah, what I'm saying though is like you can't predict what's going to fly and what's not going to fly. So
Right.
Just try to play it safe.
Well, it's funny, too, because the different shows have different audience personalities that you probably have to be careful of. Like a Rachel Ray is a different audience. Like the Daily Show is a comedy, stand-up comedy kind of little tougher audience. Seth, that's a late night show that's filmed, but it's also filmed in the afternoon, right? It's not filmed at
They do deal with like heavy subject matter. So like,
Yeah.
you do have to be mindful that these people are there because they are very invested in the subject of, making the world better or whatever they're doing.
Right.
So like, you got to be mindful of that.
right. Have you any stories in this where somebody fucking just failed miserably?
They all fail.
Oh, God.
Everybody tries and fails.
It's a tough game.
Comedians think they can do it, and then they get in there and they're like, what am I doing? I fucked up.
Tom Papa.
Tom Papa? Oh, my God, with Barbara Walters?
Did The View.
He did The View,
Did The View.
and he took a hot one.
Oh, God. He went dirty.
Really?
And
Tom Papa?
Tom Papa. He said it was early in his career, and he started bombing. And he went to like his closers at the time. which
Oh,
was
no.
something about like a nipple, something about a female nipple. And he goes, out of the corner of my eye, I could see something shuffling over towards me. It's Barbara Walters going, no, just no. Give me the microphone.
She took the mic out of his hand.
Oh, that would be the end of my life.
And then she started doing warm up. Barbara Walters started.
She did it.
Yeah,
And she
she
probably
started doing
crushed.
she fired.
That would Babs. If is that her name? What do they call her? I don't know what her name is. What's her nickname?
Barbara Wawa?
Babsies. That's fucking terrible, dude. I had that at a college. I was bombing. It was a high school, not a college, high school sleepover party.
Ooh.
They hired.
That's rough.
I shouldn't have took it. I needed the money. It was a high school sleepover. It was a 12 o'clock show. They're all in a gymnasium, running around like fucking kids. And I went up in the middle of, I think I was maybe 11 minutes and 30 seconds into my act. I just felt somebody grab the microphone and go, give it up. That's Robert Kelly. Listen, guys, there's apple juice on the table with chips. And I was like, and then I was like, I just had to walk off. I was like, please pay me. Please don't not pay me. And they didn't pay me. Yeah, I was too.
They pay you?
I was too dirty. I did that with Tracy Morgan. Dude, I did a college with Tracy, and they said, listen, Sam Houston College. It's all black college. And me and Dave Edwards, I think at the time, that was on The Real World. The first episode. He got kicked off.
Yeah.
Got kicked off.
Chappelle's friend.
Chappelle's friend.
Yeah.
Who got kicked off. And he pulled the cover off of a girl. It was, assault or some crazy shit. Back before Me Too, when you could do that stuff on MTV. I mean, they had, Flavor Flav had a show where he just fucked chicks. I mean, I don't know how that flew. Brett Michaels, which one am I going to fuck tonight? It's crazy, right? He got skipped. So it's me, him, and Tracy, and they say, you have to be clean. And they come up to us before the thing. We knew this. And he came up before it, and the kid came up and goes, you got to sign this contract on you have to be clean. No really dirty talk or whatever. You have to, and we all signed it. And he came up after, yo, we're artists. We got to be free to do what we do. We're artists. You with me? And I'm like, yo, dude, I need this money, dude. It's $5,000. I'm getting this fucking, I can't. Dave went up clean, 20 minutes. I went up clean, 20 minutes. Tracy goes up 5 minutes clean. Nobody's laughing. Just goes, yo, man, you ever fuck a girl in her kidney? And her dad come home and you wipe the blood on the curtain because it hit the kidney? And her dad, who put blood on my curtain? Dude, I just saw the kid put his hands on his head and slid down the wall. And a woman, a big black woman, in just almost like a pilgrim outfit with these boots with buckles. I just saw her walk, click, click. You heard it, click, 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 and it got louder. She came over. He had the checks on his head like this, and she grabbed the checks and ripped them up and walked out. And Tracy came off. Yo, that was good, right? I was like, nah, dude, nah, it's not good. We didn't get paid. So when you have to be clean, you got to be fucking clean because that's dude. Getting the mic or having somebody fucking let you know that it's over sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Sucks. I couldn't imagine it. And you've been working there for how long?
Oh, since day one.
How many years is that?
10.
I mean, Jesus, dude.
I know.
Is that like golden handcuffs a little bit?
So to quote Judd, it all depends on what you do with it. You know what I mean? Like you can do, that's the kind of the premise of the movie. Like some people do this job and just stay in this job and have a family and have a very nice life. And some people take it and turn it into something else.
Right.
Bob Saget. So that's kind of the idea of like, am I in this role forever or is there something else?
Is all these people that are in the movie, did they do warm up?
I'd say probably like
Majority of them,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Bob Saget used to do it for Bosom Buddies back in the day.
yes.
Wow.
Or was it Letterman on Bosom Buddies?
No.
Oh no, it was
Yeah.
Bob. Bob did it on Bosom Buddies, and Letterman was doing it on. Fuck, I can't remember now.
It might have been because Seinfeld did the same show. It was 60-minute magazine show, I think it was called.
Bob Saget's disgustingly dirty.
He might have been dirty at his warm up. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. He did the opening Anthony Virus tour, and that was Burr, me, Norton, Voss, Patrice. I mean, and then Bob Saget was on, and we were all like, what the fuck? He went out, it was dirtier than all of us.
All the dick jokes.
Buddy, worse than that. I mean, it was, we were all like, what? We were all like, what? Like crazy.
It's supposed to be America's dad.
His act was fucking disgusting. It was so shockingly awesome to see Bob Saget from Full House just be a piece of shit on stage in front of the O&A crowd that loved it at the time. Like he crushed at the time.
Oh yeah.
That's weird. So you got all these people doing this movie and you decide to do this documentary. I just did something with Norton Yamanika and Bobby Lee that I've been working on for like people don't understand. Like I have square friends, like regular guys that I hang out with at the cigar lounge and stuff, and they think that you just, you make something. Just make it.
No.
3 years from thinking about it, writing, and then you add somebody, and then you add somebody else, and then rewrite. and then it becomes something else. And all of a sudden it's this thing, and then you get to the point. I mean, listen to me. We were a week out, a week and a half out, maybe less than that. And they were like, if this money doesn't come in, it's over.
Right.
And it's like your fucking heart is in your chest. Like, and you have to make these, it's like, you know what and then when you do it, I loved it. I love being on the set. I love the whole production of it. I love all the work going up, and all of a sudden it's going to happen. And then all it is that it's just constant problem solving.
Putting out fires all day long.
That's all it is.
Yep.
Is okay, what do we do? And then people going, bang, that's it. Let's go and do that. And there's no time for emotion. There's no time for hurt feelings. And to get this thing to go, like when you're done, it's almost like you went to war.
Yep.
When you're done. Like the last day, it's like, we got it? We got it. Am I right?
Completely. Well, it's 6 years for us.
Fucking A, dude.
Through a pandemic,
There was
too.
a pandemic.
Yeah, that kind of fucked us up.
But
I went through that too. We put it on pause during the pandemic.
What are you doing with the three of them? Is it a
We did a
comedy?
show called Comedy Camp where I bring, around 10 or so years ago, maybe a little longer, I started going camping. And I really loved hiking. And then I got into primitive camping where I would go up into the woods and not a KOA, but you hike up into the woods and you stay. And you have to, find water and get fire. And
So it's Survivor meets comedy?
it's like the show Alone meets, Big Brother or something, where I went up with Ari Shaffir and Joe List, and, we were up we hiked, 2 hours up, 2 hours down, 4 hours into the wilderness, and on this beautiful lake, and had to make a camp and, pitch our tents, and they didn't even know how to pitch a tent. Had to hang a bear bag and cook the food and light a fire and get all this shit. And then, we're sitting there and, everything's beautiful. And, they were talking, and we went into our tents around 1 a.m. And then all of a sudden a pack of coyotes just came through camp. And then, I don't know if you ever heard coyotes.
Oh, yeah. Scary.
It's terrifying. It's not, it's like something's being murdered.
Yep.
And it's 50 yards away and we're 4 hours away from anything. There's no way out. You have to just grin and bear it. And we waited through the night. The next day we all came out of our tents, and it was like this crazy experience that I was like, oh my God, this was awesome. Like terrifying. And the night, and I brought Paul Verzi up, the next guy I brought up, and he showed up with camouflage Nikes. I was like, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, dude, these are waterproof, right? I'm like, no, it's camouflage doesn't make. And I took him up into the woods, and he's got a gold chain, he's got a fucking rope chain, and when we get up, he forgot his blanket. It's like, he's like, am I gonna be all right? I'm like, yeah, you'll be fine. I'm like, you're not. It's gonna suck. It's a weird thing that when the sun goes down, and no phones and no Twitter and there's no accolades and there's no show and there's nowhere to go, and the sun goes down and you're there, you finally actually have a conversation with somebody that you've known for years, and there's no bullshit. It's just like you're looking at, you don't look over and they're on their phone, or I gotta go, or you're just sitting there talking, and every noise is a terrifying monster, and you need each other. You kind of need each other to kind of get through this thing. And then when you wake up the next day, there's this spiritual thing that happens where you're like, fuck, no AC, no bed, no electricity, no all the shit I'm used to, the 4 seasons and all. There's no snacks. It's kind of this pure thing that I felt, and I wanted to do that with other comics. So me and my partner that came up with the idea, and we finally, but the mountain that we had to push it up to, raising the money to do it,
Did you have a big crew?
We had
3 cameras?
We had a director, 2 cameras, and we had a survivalist that was even that. The guy I wanted, this guy Donnie Dust, who I love. He's just this fucking Marine did
Little safety.
9 tours of duty, can literally go in the woods and kill something. Just goes out with and gets a rock and smashes it and makes a knife and then kills a buffalo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just stopped responding. So we wound up.
He might have died. Like, you don't even know.
I don't know, dude. But this
He
is
doesn't even respond. He got eaten by a bear, dude.
3 weeks out. We had to get this girl named Becky.
Clear second choice.
So, and she wound up being fantastic. You know, she knew mushrooms and how to make tea, and she knew every plant in the thing. But you know, and there was a crew that went up and built in the woods in Canada, this site. You know, with a stage out of all stuff in the woods, and you know. They built all this crazy shit that, you know, you have to know bushcrafting, you have to know the camp to build this stuff. And they built this amazing site. We had string lights on fucking solar batteries that they had to charge in the sun every day. And we had cameras. We filmed 24 hours a day. So we filmed everything. And we had these special chest cams we made that had lights. That when you turn the lights on, the cameras went on. So we were filming from each other. We had them. And I mean, it was It was fucking crazy. And
What's the budget like on that?
it was all right. It was a small budget. Here's the thing with it.
Ballpark it. What's it cost to?
Under $1 million, you know?
Okay.
I mean, I put my money into it too. So it was, you know, we got some help from Canada. That's why we did it in Canada, tax credits and stuff but it was, I mean, we can't even talk about it. We had to sign NDAs after it because it was so horrific. The stuff that happened up there was so fucking. I should have just took him to the fucking Poconos. I mean, I kind of fucked, you know, but when it comes out, it's going to be nuts because it was, you know.
When are you expecting it to come out?
Probably next year. I mean, we had so many cameras. We had cameras on trees. We had cameras on trails. We had cameras going. Everything we were doing was being filmed all the time. So he had to just go dump footage onto this thing and then charge batteries and put stuff up, and it was pretty crazy. But the woods are, more dangerous than I thought, and you know, we'll see what happens with it. Hopefully they can make something out of it. But do we make the show that I thought it was going to be? This little cute show where they learn how to make a chair. You know what I mean? And have some moments. Yes, we did get that. But did other shit happen? Fuck yeah. And I don't know. I mean, you know, again, it's problem solving. It's just figuring it out.
It's funny. Somebody told me one time making a movie or a television show or whatever, it's like having a piggy bank filled with coins. Just smash it on the ground, and whatever pieces you pick up, that's your film. You know what I mean?
Fucking,
that's what's
that is
left.
a great, I mean, seriously. You think it's going to be this, and then
it's never. Because you don't know what's coming at you, and then things change and stuff moves around, and you're always on time. It's always beating the clock.
And plus, comics, the worst.
Oh, when they don't show up,
we're the worst. We're the worst because we're not actors. Actors, like I think Seinfeld said it when he was auditioning. I've told the story before. When he was auditioning for Seinfeld, he could tell who the comedians were auditioning and who the actors, because the actors had their script and they were in the hallway reading it, and this is the biggest moment of my life. This could be it. And the comics were all sitting there like, this is fucking up my whole afternoon. Right?
Totally.
So when you get this going, how did you self-fund this? I mean, did you put your money into it?
When we started out, we borrowed the cameras from a friend of mine.
Okay.
For like, I think
By the way,
first.
This was his idea. So when we came up with it and we had no budget, Pete, to his credit, said, let's just start shooting. Let's just start interviewing. I'll borrow a camera. Let's start tomorrow. We have to start.
Yeah.
And that's everything.
Yeah.
You just got to start. If you start, then something's happening. If you're just planning and, you know, scheduling and maybe we'll do this, we just started with nothing.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it was, let's get a couple interviews, put something together. I put a deck together. I reached out to people that I knew that had money and to people that know people that have money. I think I raised the first 100. And then you were talking about not having money and shitting your pants. We were doing a week in LA every month in 2019, I think it was. So every month we'd go out to LA for a week and we would just jam pack it with interviews, either 2 or 3 a day for the whole week. And we were about to go to California. We were literally on no more money. And then one of our investors, Eric, came in for 45 grand and saved us. And then Ryan raised the rest of it.
Yeah, I put money in also, but I didn't know. I didn't know that you could you would just he called me. He's like, "Yeah, bro, I think we're out of money. I think we just got to shelf this." And I was like, "What?
Yeah,
what?
dude.
What?
I would never say
what?
that.
What?"
Dude, yeah, I got that call. I got that call on a Sunday night. Yeah, if we don't get this by tomorrow, we got to call it. We got to wrap it up. I'm like, there's people in Canada right now. Like, I have my ticket. Like, I canceled gigs. Like, it was crazy. And but if it's meant to happen, it works out. You figure a way.
Does.
Yeah.
It usually does. Somehow you find a way.
Is there anybody that you interviewed that was a dud?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. As soon as they were done, you were like,
I'm not saying anything.
That ain't making
I
it.
ain't saying nothing.
Who do you think?
I have no idea. Everybody was great.
Ah, you
I
fucking
like
Hollywood.
that.
There you go.
Mark Summers was great.
Really?
Yeah, because we know him from game shows, but he was a comedian.
Yeah.
And he was a warm-up comedian.
No shit.
For Star Search.
Yeah, and at like a bunch of other shows. He was like
Yeah.
the
Oh,
warm-up
God.
comedian in L.A.
Alice, Webster,
Yeah.
Different Strokes. Maybe that's not right, but all those shows
And
like
he's-
back in the day.
He's talking about how like he just wanted to be in front of the camera, and the producers would never, ever do that. And he's like, I had more money than I knew what to do with it, but I wanted to put a gun in my mouth. And I was like, Mark Summers is talking about killing himself. This is the best.
It's the golden handcuffs, right?
Exactly.
He quit.
He quit to go.
He quit
To go sell salmon.
Went to go sell salmon. He was
I'm
selling
sorry.
Yeah, I know.
1 second, Ryan. I'm sorry. I think you just said salmon.
salmon.
Absolutely correct. You had a friend from college, I guess, that was selling salmon, and he decided to go that route because he's like, I'm never going to get on TV. I'm done with doing warm up. And he started selling salmon. And they got it into Price Club, which became Costco. They got it into Trader Joe's. And he was making money doing salmon. And then he got a call out of the blue from a ventriloquist friend of his. I forgot the guy's name. And he said, hey, I can't make this audition. You should go. They're auditioning for this new network called Nickelodeon, and they need a game show host for Double Dare.
Yeah.
And that's how he got on camera. And
And
that's how he, the rest is history.
That's the guy who fought. Didn't he fight Burt Reynolds?
He did.
Right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's right. That's correct.
Right. I love. Here's why
Carson.
I love that. Burt is. I love Burt Reynolds. One of my
Burt Reynolds.
favorite.
Love him.
But the fact that he's so alpha and he's so used to people just going fuck you, and some nerdy dude was like, suck my dick. I loved it. I love the fact that Burt got a fucking stupid pie right in his face. Good for him. Good for him. He didn't kill himself, right?
No. He's big in the
Who,
Food
Mark?
No, he's big in the Food Network. Like he's produced a bunch of shows for the Food Network.
It's funny.
One of the nicest guys.
If I say this, you want to make it in this business, plan a vacation. Plan something that you really want to do, and you'll get a call. Hey, man, you got this thing. Fuck. I'm just going to fucking Aruba next week. Honey, this might be it. You know? Who was that? Delivery guy. Oh, nice talking to you. Joe, could you have any more enthusiasm to be here? Delivery guy. So you start doing the show. You start getting this movie off the ground. When we didn't know... You always think, oh, this is something, right? And then there's a point where you know this is real, that we did it. Like, this is really good. When was that point where you were like, dude, this is going to be fucking great?
I never really get excited like that, but I know it's good. I think that moment came last week.
Pause one
The
second.
correct
Pause one-
answer is when you got booked on the YKWD podcast.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. When we got booked on this podcast.
I mean, that's fucking funny. I had something I was going to say, but now
Do
you
it,
fucking
do it. Say
stepped
it
on
anyway.
mine, you cocksucker. I was going to be like, cut that. Good sales pitch. Not going to sell the movie. Anyways, what the fuck? Well, guys,
It's the best thing ever.
I don't know if it's going to be good. What? Who the fuck sells a movie like that?
I didn't say that. I mean, you don't know how people are going to respond, but
Right.
the story's great. We just finished the color and the sound last week. So, I mean, it sounds and it looks fantastic.
Well, it's hard to make a documentary because it's real. So it's hard to. It's real. You have to tell a story, dude.
Yeah.
You have to tell a story.
Right.
So while you're doing it, you're getting this footage, and you're figuring out the story as you like. Right.
Yeah, we already had a plan, like the way the story arc was going to go. So the questions that we were asking everyone kind of fed into that.
Right.
We asked everybody, I think, 25, 30 questions. And every interview was amazing. I mean, every interview was at least 45 minutes to 2 hours long.
Wow.
There's just so much gold, like everybody telling us these amazing stories.
But just to answer your question with a little more enthusiasm, I knew it was going to work when I saw it play in the room. When you play it for an audience and it gets laughs where it's supposed to get laughs.
Oh, so it's already.
I'm going to retract my statement. I'm going to say it was the best happened when we showed it at the LA Comedy Festival and everybody just loved it.
They loved it.
Everybody loved it. And that was the validation right there.
How does that feel when you're sitting in the crowd and something you created from nothing?
It's the best.
Years ago.
It's a different animal because like at least with stand-up, if things are going wrong, you have the option to like try some stuff.
Right.
Maybe I could do this. Maybe I'll go left. Maybe I'll go right. Maybe I can get them back. I don't know. With a movie, it's there. Like if this train goes off the tracks, you can't save it.
And you have to, and you're there, and you're the
there.
guys.
You just got to sit there and be like,
right. But at the end, you knew how good was that feeling?
That was a great feeling. Also, when you're sitting in the room and you're getting laughs where you didn't think there were laughs.
No, that's why comedy's the shit.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, that's funny, and then people laugh at this other thing. You're like, I didn't even know that was funny.
Yeah.
Because it's unique to every
Absolutely.
crowd.
Absolutely.
You know, like me and Billy Burr and Joe DeRosa years ago. You know, this is why I love this shit, because it's like you don't have to ask. You really don't have to ask to do shit. You know what I mean? Just do it. Like you said, just do it. We were always like, we should do something, we should do. And we're always waiting for somebody to give us this opportunity. And then we just went and wrote this script, a short film about how to cheat on your girl and get away with it, like a bank heist. And then we raised, I don't know, $6,000 and we filmed it. We filmed the fucking thing.
It's fun.
And I remember it got into the Tribeca Film Festival. And we went and people fucking loved it.
Yep.
And then we got a book deal out of it. Then we got a fucking, FX came and was like, yeah, we want to make a TV show with you guys. And
People in the chat are asking what the movie's called, and I realized we never said that.
we never said that. It's called Before We Get Started.
Yes.
I mean, you could have said that.
I could have.
You could have typed it in. You didn't have to make us all look like assholes
Yeah.
to the chat. But you, exactly. There's the laugh.
well, let me ask
He's
you
a
this.
stand-up too. That's why. Cocksucker.
Why-
How about you just ended? That's the next documentary I'm making with you.
Let's do it.
Danny just ended his career.
When you opened for Dane, did you have to be clean?
No, Dane's fucking dirty. Dane's dirty cute though. You know, Dane. I didn't know. He never gave me restrictions. Well, he was just go do your thing. And I gotta respect Dane because you know I would fucking murder in front of him, and he would just go out and fucking like I wasn't there. You know, people like. You know, I love when people try to sell you, dude. You open for Dan and you'll get. No, you're not. They're there to see. When people are there to see that person, they're there to see that person. I got fans, of course. But, you know, we did fucking 80 arenas. I should be a gazillionaire. You know what I mean? And it was okay. It did help me in my career, absolutely. But it's not like, you know, you just turn the fucking faucet on and money. Me, Gary, and Jay Davis did our own tour after that, and there was some shows that weren't packed out. You know, it's like we were just on HBO for fucking 9 weeks. Our lead-in was The Sopranos. And we were like, dude, we're going to fuck. And no, it's just, you know what I mean? Fame is a finicky thing. It goes where it wants. And if you want it, you know, you got to be pinpoint focused on I am going to be famous. And everything else I think around you is going to suffer for a while. And then, you know, a lot of guys that I know that are famous, like they look at me and be like, oh, dude, you got a wife and a family. You hang out with your kid. You do things together. I wish I could do that. It's like, you could. You
can.
You just got to fucking let go of your death grip of trying to be the guy, you know, and be happy with who you are. I think not to get too fucking, not to get too documentary on you.
Well, Tourgasm was a documentary.
Wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to be a 2-hour thing. Like one thing we put out and then he exploded. And HBO was like, we want to do your special. And he was like, I got this too. And like, I want that too. The guy loved Dane. So they had to make it in. That's what sucked about it. They had to make every episode into a story arc. So I had to be the instigator. You know what I mean? So every episode, I was the guy going, fuck you fucking cocksucker. You know, and Jay Davis was the fucking newbie. What happened? He started crying. It's like, fuck off. That shit was bullshit. You know, and Dane was the leader. I'm not fucking following anybody, dude. I'm fucking a grown man. I'm not fucking, you know what I mean? And Gary, I don't know what Gary was confused. I don't know, fucking, Gary was so mad. Gary was so mad on that tour. He just came off of Last Comic Standing. And he you know, it's like, I want to go do my own thing. And now he's on a fucking stupid dumb reality show again with us. And I remember one time he followed me and I had a great set and he went up and Gary's one of the funniest human beings walking and whatever. Somebody yelled out boo and he fucking snapped and he went out to the parking lot. I ran out after him and I just saw him. He grabbed a fistful of change. He went, motherfucker. And it started ping, ting, ping, ting. Just these nickels and quarters flying through a parking lot. It was the most saddest fucking rageful thing I've ever seen anybody do. But yeah, Torgasm was fucked. But this thing, go back to this. I mean, it must be easier as you get these people to say, this is the fucking list we got that's in this movie. Does that help it?
People don't read anything. They don't, you can send them stuff. They don't look at it. They don't read it.
Isn't it funny? Dude, we sent we sent out a thing to the crew, the cast, and they were like, what are we doing? It's like, we sent you what we're doing. We're going up in the woods? Yeah, motherfucker. How many go wear a skirt? A fucking skirt. Or like, we're going in the fucking mountains of Canada, you fucking lunatic. Wow, is it cold? Yes. Oh, forget it. Yeah, no one reads shit. But when you tried to sell this and raise, like, at the end, did the people look, did you have to make like a sizzle reel and show people like who's in this?
I mean, we have a trailer right now. We're concentrating on the event in November.
Yeah.
And then trying to sell it there.
Danny, do you have the trailer?
I don't, but I could pull it up. Ryan, could you send it to me and we'll pull it up?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't think about getting the trailer?
He has the trailer.
Okay.
If he has the
He
trailer.
has the trailer.
I didn't think I got on. I showed him the trailer.
You have the fucking trailer. All right, anyways. Dude, how long have you been doing stand-up, Rye?
18 years?
18 fucking years. You live in New York? Where are you from? Long Island?
New York, yeah.
You're from Long Island, right?
Yeah. I got my family in the movie, too.
You got your how'd you do that?
We set up some cameras and lights.
Pete wanted the family in.
Why'd you want the family in?
Well, we follow Ryan through this whole world and him not only explaining to us warm up and the different sides of it, but also him trying to get a game show. He's trying to pitch himself. He's trying to get out of the warm up
into his own show.
Yeah, and trying to move up in the world.
I don't want to ruin the fucking movie. But
No, it's fine.
Did you got a game show?
You got to come to the premiere.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
We pitched Mr. Game Show, Howie Mandel.
He was into it.
He was into it.
He's into it.
Maybe.
You can't tell. You got to go see the movie. At the end of the movie, do you find out?
Of course, yeah. It's not a cliffhanger.
It's not like a Twilight movie.
To be continued.
Action comedy.
I thought you said it was in part 2. Fucking asshole. So, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, that's the story. Like I was talking about documentaries, you can't just go out and just film people talking about shit. You have to tell some type of story. So that's the through line through it.
Yeah.
You're trying to get out and go to something else.
Correct.
Yes.
Are you still doing the stand-up, the warm-up?
Yeah.
Do you love it?
I would say yes, because it's still a
Yeah,
performance.
because you're still there. And they might see this and fire you.
Oh, no one's watching this.
Fucking Danny's going to be the new warm-up guy. Hey, guys. for half a day.
No.
Talk about cum in 5 seconds.
I love it.
So I think you're always learning in comedy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've seen some amazing people host. Jessica Kirson's an amazing warm-up, an amazing host. She doesn't do it anymore, but she's amazing at it. So
Right.
you can always improve those skills and learn really how to really how to own an audience.
Right.
And that's, what you learn from warm-up is like, oh.
Well, you learned that from hosting too, because you hosted the Cellar.
Yes.
And I remember I was so mad at hosting when I first, and I remember Tom Papa came up to me. He's like, "Dude, this is the best thing. Best thing." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You're learning how to deal with comics. You're learning how to deal with crowds, different crowds all night. People doing great and having to go up after that. People doing bad, having to fix that. You're learning to vibe with the energy in the room, which is going to give you a skill on the road that you'll be able to be funny anywhere, anytime." And I was like, that made sense to me. And once he just turned me a little bit in the right direction, I was like, okay. And there was a time where I was like, I'm not hosting anymore. I'm out. I got to do sets. I can't be that guy.
Right.
And that was a hard thing. That was a scary thing to do. You can bring it up, dude. Go ahead, bring it up, you fucking weirdo. Why would you make it small?
Well, Mike Royce, by the way, was a host at the Cellar. He's a showrunner in LA now, and he was also a warm-up.
He was.
Yeah.
Oh no shit. Yeah. And Tom Papa was a host at the Cellar. Tom Papa was the host when I was first here. He was at the Cellar, and I mean that guy skyrocketed. Kinda, right? No, I'm kidding. Tom, I love you. You fucking rocking. All right, let's watch it. Can I watch this? How long's the trailer?
4 minutes.
Do you mind watching it for a minute?
I don't mind.
All right, let's check this out.
Why is warm-up so important?
For a TV taping, it's really important.
Welcome to Last Week Tonight. I'm John Oliver. How you feeling? Put your hands together.
My
Is that-
name is Ryan Reiss. I am the audience warm comedian.
It's my job to prepare you for this evening's show.
You need someone to get the focus, to be honest, to take the bullet.
Anyone else popping edible? Cool.
I have never seen you falter. You're like this all the way through.
You gotta go crazy, go nuts, punch each other in the face, throw a chair.
And for years, buddy.
So I should ask for a raise.
No.
Every show on TV that has an audience needs a warm-up comedian. Talk shows, game shows, sitcoms, morning shows.
Gonna cut
sometimes
Ellen
even news
out.
shows. We're the hype ninjas. the there's a good carnival story about barbers, Ellen. the crowd
Oh, really?
fluffers. Producers count on us to keep the energy high and the crowd excited.
You're gonna express happiness, okay? New Yorkers, pretend you found a parking spot.
It's a little bit like preheating the oven. It takes a while to preheat an oven. Not that I know. I mean, I don't cook.
Sometimes these tapings go 4 or 5 hours, and it really is essential someone is keeping the energy going.
We hadn't even started shooting, and it was 2 hours already. The audience was so tired. It was insane.
And if the audience is flat, it's your fault.
No, every comedian cannot do warm-up. Shit, most comedians can't do comedy.
I actually did warm-up once. I kind of fucked that up as well.
Ever since I was a kid in Long Island, I wanted to do comedy. For 7.5 years, I got on stage every single night. I went anywhere I can find an audience. Subway stations, laundromats, or how about the back of a pickup truck?
How old are you, buddy? 21 years old. I always ask the guy's age. I never ask a lady. That's rude. How much do you weigh, sweetheart?
I developed a style that involved connecting with the audience.
I think you got money though, sir.
Used to.
Yeah, well, stop getting married.
And that got my foot in the door for warm-up.
I rock the mic and make the crowd shake hope.
It's a great steady gig for a comedian.
There he is.
But it's not enough just to be funny. You gotta do crowd work. You gotta have a t-shirt gun. And sometimes you gotta have a fucking unicycle.
What?
It seems like the hardest job in comedy.
And then at a moment's notice, someone will just pull the rug underneath you and be like, hey, you're not a human being anymore. We got to do the real show.
Please help me welcome Seth Meyers.
Oh, he just comes out and doesn't even wave to you. Goddamn
Do you
Seth.
think that being a warm comedian could hurt career opportunities?
Is that
Yeah.
Caroline Ray?
Warm-up can make you look like
sorry.
more of a clown at a children's hospital than a proper comedian.
You know the gig is kind of a second seat. Yeah. Would any one of you take that gig knowing that might be the ceiling?
I could have done that. I could have done that.
Almost thankless.
It's a strange profession in that you started this because you had dreams of being in front of the camera, and here you are 3 feet behind the camera.
There are some legends in warm-up, guys that people outside of comedy have never even heard of. But then there's a few who made it out.
When I was doing warm-ups, Dave Letterman was doing the warm-up on Barney Miller, and to the right of me in the other stage, Saget was doing the warm-up on Bosom Buddies. So you got Bob Saget and David Letterman, who turned out to be fantastic hosts.
Given the skill set of a warm-up, do you think they would make good game show hosts?
Perfect. That's the skill set.
So one of the things we're doing is we're going to pitch a game show. What if the network says, but not you?
You're going to be a doctor. There's a school you go to, whereas comedy, there's not a clear path. You kind of just have to do it and then find out what the path, even the possible
God,
paths
he's good
are
looking.
to go.
Comedy is a live art form and is never better than the crowd.
You and I came up together. When you look at the scope of comedy, we have people that like make show business work for them. And any way that they do that is incredible.
Coming to the stage right now is a comedian that is making his legend, same way I made mine. Please welcome your host, Mr. Ryan Reiss.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get started here, guys, just a couple of quick house rules.
I'm in. I'd watch it. It looks fucking great. I like that you snuck the game show host thing in there too.
Yeah, well, it's part of the.
And that Dave Chappelle, what the fuck? What was that? Where did he bring you up? Did you?
You get like this is one for the universe. I don't even know how to explain this, man.
He's never talked to me. I've known him for 30 years. It's the Boston Comedy Club when he did Buddies with Jim Brewer. I mean, nothing. He brought you up like you were fucking best friends. When did you have to pay him? What happened?
No, I'm at the cellar.
Yeah.
And he comes into the bar.
Yeah.
Right. I knew he was doing sets around, and I thought he was going to go up. And he's like, "Hey, man, did you go on yet?" And I go, "No." He goes, "All right. I'm going to go on, and I'm gonna bring you on." So I thought he was going to do his hour because he'd been doing an hour. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem, man."
Hang on 1 second. Hour?
Well, he'd been doing an hour.
You mean 3? Was he not smoking that night? Go ahead.
And I was like, "Yeah, cool, man, no problem. It's the bar. He never plays the bar."
Right.
So I'm standing there, and he goes, "Cool. What's your legend?" And I go,
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's Dave Chappelle. So I'm like, I
would have said Ginger Lynn.
He goes, you don't know your legend? I go, no, I'm so sorry. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know my legend. And he goes, okay. And he goes on, does no time. Gives me that intro. And just brings me on. Did no time.
Why?
I don't know. It's just one of those weird, I don't know.
But you can put him in the movie?
It's because it's me.
What?
I didn't ask him to do that. He did that on his own.
Because he brought you up.
Yes.
So you can use him.
Yes. I didn't ask him to do any of that. He chose to do that on his own.
Right. So he just brought you up like that. No time. What a weird, cool moment.
And I'll tell you what. I knew it was scary shit, dude. So scary. Like, because he didn't tell me he was doing that. He just did that.
Right.
And I've never had an experience like that. Everything I said after that, the audience just fell out of their seat laughing.
Really?
Because I just got co-signed by Dave Chappelle. They didn't matter what I said. They were on board.
The fuck did you figure out the legend thing? What the fuck did you go up and go, hey, dude, what was the legend shit?
I think he was just referring to how he built his legend and that next comedian's.
You didn't ask?
I was terrified.
I'm fucking want to know what that means. I got to pick my legend. What if he asks me someday? I don't know what the fuck he's talking. I don't have your response. I want to fucking.
You got to start hosting here again.
I'm going to say Dave Chappelle. God damn it, man. That's a weird millionaire guy question.
Bobby's going to be like, Louis, my legend.
He is one of my legends. Colin Quinn, I guess. Louis, I guess, but what if he answered that wrong? What if he goes, nah, motherfucker, I meant sandwiches. I mean, what's your legend sandwich, motherfucker?
It was a wild experience.
What was the thing you were going to tell me about when I said you got a story about?
Oh, Ellen.
Yeah, because
what's his name? The Ellen story about him not dancing.
Oh, Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah. So Fitzsimmons is doing the warm up and writing at Ellen.
Right.
And, everyone dances. It's like a big thing.
Yeah.
And there was some buzz going around that there was a man in the audience that was refusing to dance. And, Greg's backstage, and it was before he was famous. Zach was just Zach and in the audience, and he refused to dance. And, like, the producers were getting really pissed off.
That makes me laugh.
And Ellen was getting like, why isn't this guy dancing? And the producer's like, we don't know. We're checking right now. Gotta make him dance. And they keep going up to him. They're like, sir, could you just sway a little? And he's like, no. So now they're all freaked out. Ellen's freaked out, and they're going to throw him out.
Really?
Yes, because he won't dance. And he's got the beard, and he looks kind of crazy. Yeah. And Greg sees it, and he's like, oh, no, that's Zach. He's a comedian. He's fine. Right. He's okay. He's just, he's a comedian.
That's funny. Patrice didn't dance either. He was on Ellen to promote whatever. I think it was Web Junks. They were doing the big push for him, and he was like, "Yeah, I ain't dancing," because he's supposed to come out and do a little thing.
All right, everybody does it.
He's like, "Nah," and they were like, "You gotta fucking dance." He almost ruined his career over that stupid dance. And if you see him on the show, I think he does some. Like something like that. I don't know what but he might have just walked out and not did. But that was I remember calling me and be like, dude, they want me to dance. I was like, what? I go, that's racist. That's fucking racist. And he was like, yeah, man, I guess I ain't dancing. I ain't fucking dancing. And he wouldn't do that stupid shit. And I love that. Good for fucking you. What an asshole. She danced once and these fucking fat middle-aged women liked it. And then she was like, this is my thing. Now everybody has to be an asshole when you come out. Fuck it. That's why I'll never do this. But I'll never fuck it. I'd be like, fuck off. Have you ever with them? Have they ever gotten under your shit on the show? Have you ever been like, I'm out? I'm done. Has it your show that you?
No, well, I do. I've done a bunch of shows.
When you do the Seth Meyers is
Now,
wow, you've done other. You warmed up for who did you start warming up for?
The morning show was the first one I've done. I've done Rachel Ray. I've done. I've filled in at the Tonight Show. I've done just whatever.
Jimmy Fallon or
yeah.
Jimmy's great, right?
Yeah, that's Herzog's show, but when he's out.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
So do you do both? Do you more than one now?
No. It's Seth's show, but if something like during COVID, like when he would test positive for COVID, I would go in and cover the show for him.
You'd cover that show and your show.
Yeah.
So you do 2 shows.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, but I mean that's only when he's out in an emergency or whatever. It's not.
Well, it's I always thought like this seems to me kind of like cruise ship comics. I always thought somebody should do a documentary on them because these guys in that lane, they have to be a certain thing, right? You can't be dirty. Some of these shows, you have to be clean. You have to do a show at night or an afternoon show for You have to work in the parameters of the cruise ship. And these guys are fucking murderers. I did a show one night and it was 2 cruise ship comics, me and then Angel Salazar. I don't know. He just jumped on the show. This fucking maniac came at the end. It was in Florida. It was the PBA benefit. And the lady who books the cruise ships booked me. And these 2 guys went up in front of me. And they were doing fucking gays in the military joke. And it's like, dude, it's already gone. Like, you could be gay now. You know what I mean? And he was doing this. And he was polished, perfect bits that were murdering. And on cruise ships, they fucking murder. And they go ship to ship. And once you get in, you fucking stay in because there's someone right behind you waiting to take that gig. And they go and they do the ships and they murder. And on that ship, people always give cruise ship comics shit for, whatever. On that ship, the funniest person those people's ever seen. On that ship, they're like, that was the greatest show ever. They're fucking in that world, in the sea, these guys are the fucking gods of comedy to those people on that ship. And that's a whole nother world that we don't even fucking, as stand-ups at the Cellar, New York City, we always like, oh, dude, you cruise ship comic. Like it's a bad thing. Some people, it's a fucking...
They make a lot of money.
They make money. I think it's like $3,500 a week. It's like, this is what you get, and you're not getting more, and you're going out, you're on the ship, and you're gone, and you keep going and going and going, and then you come back, and then you go back. And they make a life. I have friends that make a life out of it.
And they're out there for weeks, right?
Sometimes a year. I mean, some people don't have homes. They have just apartments that they rent because they're never there, And
Louis Ramey.
Huh?
Louis Ramey.
He did that?
Well, I think he's doing it now. He's a boat guy now.
Yeah. And there's that thing where it's like this golden handcuffs. You're always getting a check. You're always doing comedy, but you have to work in the parameters of the ship, which is kind of like this in a way. You're getting money, you're getting a check, but you always have to work. Like, you can't just go away Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right?
No.
You have to be here.
You have to be here.
Because once you go, somebody will fucking come in and maybe do, right?
It depends. It depends on the show. Like, you can get your own backup. There have been stories of warm-ups that get backups and they specifically choose bad comedians, like day one comics.
So they know that they're going to bomb.
Uh-huh.
That can fail on you too, dude. I did that. I had a mob guy in Boston. I used to hang out with these mob. He called me up one day. He's like, yo, what are you doing next Wednesday? I'm like, nothing. What do you want to get some food? He's like, you got a gig. I'm like, where? He's like, Ming's. I'm like, the Chinese restaurant on Revere Beach, it's been closed for fucking 10 years. Not anymore. Meet me down there in fucking 10 minutes. I went down there, all Lincolns and fucking Caddies and Mercedes in the parking lot. I walked in, all Italian guys. Fucking, they had lasagna and fucking fried rice. Guy Moosey walks up, fucking 8 feet tall, 8 feet wide. I hope you're funny. I was already doing the gig. And so I got this kid that stinks that was over from me. He just sucked. I'm like, I'm getting him. He's going to fucking bomb. I'll look like a rock star. Didn't know. Italian. Had 15 minutes of slamming it. I walk in, he's murdering. Fucking I'm like, fuck. I have no Italian jokes. The kid murdered. They carried him out. I've never seen a man be kissed. It was like a gay bar. These. And I was panicking. That shit can work against you sometimes. You know. I mean, what if that guy? What if he has a great show?
Warm-up's very hard.
Because do you don't have a family, right?
No, what?
Married?
I don't like the way you said that.
Well, I'm not saying you can't. You can still, but I mean, you have to be gone. I mean, is this?
No. I mean, no, I'm not married.
You dated a stripper.
Okay, we're going there.
I mean, you don't seem like the guy who would date a stripper. Let me just say that.
Dancer.
A what?
A dancer.
Oh, do you call it
a dancer?
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't know it was 2004. We can't call them strippers anymore. She's a dancer.
Was? Yeah.
Was?
Well, I'm not with her anymore.
Why'd you break up? How'd you meet a dancer?
Side splitters.
In Tampa.
Yeah, where else do you meet strippers?
You met a Tampa stripper?
Yes.
Wow. She went to the club?
Yeah.
And would she come up to you after?
Right after.
And she tell you right away what she was?
Kind of.
How? Would she fucking take her titty out?
No. So
Sorry.
she met me and Joe Mackey at a bar afterwards.
Oh, right. I love Joe Mackey.
And we went in there, and like anything else, I said, "Oh, can I get you a drink?" And she goes, "I buy my own drinks."
Ugh.
And I went, "You a dancer?" And
You knew from there?
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, from her confident attitude. Because
they don't want to get drugged, so they don't let anyone touch their drinks.
You do look like a guy that might slip some powder. Hey, I'll be right back.
This thing went off the rails.
I'm
quick,
sorry,
huh?
buddy. I apologize.
You're so engaging and warm and kind, and you look like you roofie people.
Well, I mean, it is a look. So she buys her own drink, and then what? You see, because
What do you want to know?
Right. Here's the deal.
What's the problem?
I look like I date a stripper.
Mm-hmm.
You look like you date a chick who, worked at Google. You know what I mean? Like a chick with a sundress and a fucking nice Louis Vuitton.
But look at the life we're in. We work in nightclubs. We work in bars. These are the people we're around.
I know, but every time I meet you, hey, how are you? You're very polite. You're very well spoken. And then if you told me, yeah, I met this stripper broad in Tampa, I'd be like, what? That's fucking crazy. You took her out to dinner, didn't you?
I have, yes.
But that night, tell me what happened.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
You don't want to know this
I
stuff.
do. You know what, dude? I do.
All right, fine. Look, it was Tampa.
Yeah.
It was right after the pandemic, so it would have been like 2022.
So no masks.
No mask. Well, it was Florida, so.
Yeah, they didn't wear masks anyway. Yeah, fuck masks, yeah.
And it was a weird time for all of us because New York was still kind of closed, so we
Sure.
didn't really have, I didn't know if I was ever going to have a job again.
Right, yeah.
Anything. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was in right state of mind.
Yeah.
I definitely got drunk.
Yeah.
And she told me I tried to talk her out of dancing.
You tried to save her? Yes. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly the look I'm talking about.
First time I'm hearing about it.
I mean, you tried to save a stripper in Tampa? What, from making $10,000 a night? Listen, I'm a warm-up guy.
There was no TV. There was no TV. There's no nothing.
You can do better. Listen, than $10,000 a night? Have you seen my tits? Listen. So that night you tried to target. Did you hook up that night, or was that just no, not that night?
No,
I would have closed the deal. I would have took her back to the Holiday Inn.
It wasn't a great. It might have been the Holiday Inn, but I know next time I went back, I was at the Hard Rock.
At the Hard Rock,
yeah,
at the hotel.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
Place.
So you went back and you kept talking to her.
Yeah, she just stayed in touch.
Really?
Yeah.
And then did you still try to talk her out of it?
I kind of let her do her own thing.
Did you ever go see her dance?
Yes.
You did. How was that?
Well, all right. So it's actually a bikini bar.
What?
A bikini bar.
So she had a bikini?
Yeah. They're not actually.
So she's a real dancer.
It's a bikini bar. It's.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a strip club with clothes.
Like a bar. I mean, that's a bar.
It's like a Hooters without the food.
So it's a fucking shitty Hooters. I mean, take away those wings, those Daytona wings. Fuck it, I'm not going. So she was just a sexy. Did she dance?
Yeah.
So they dance on what, like the bar?
Oh, there's a pole on a stage and stuff like
So
that.
there's a pole on a stage, but no boobies come out.
No.
Oh,
Respectable.
I mean, boring.
I don't know the rules in
Take
Florida.
your tits out. Show your asshole.
They might
Throw
have
a dollar.
different- I don't know.
There's rules. I'll tell you. So that must. I mean, listen, that must have put you at ease, though. She's not. You don't have to see her winking her butthole at somebody for a finniff, right? I'll tell you why. I used to go to strip clubs all the time. I'm not a big fan of them. I don't. And I went to one, and a girl I was dating was actually, I looked up and she was looking through her fucking coochie at me. And she goes, Bobby? And I'm like, Cindy? And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even know she was a stripper. So I had to go. And I did. One time I dated a stripper. Boy, fucked up. You know what I mean? Really messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
twisted.
was
Yeah, twisted.
Do you know what a borderline personality disorder is?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
I know now.
Yeah. Fucking 100%. You think comics are crazy.
Ooh.
Date a stripper. God bless you guys, though. I love strippers and dancers. So it didn't work out.
No. Did
she come to the show? Did you bring her to the show? And did she see what you did?
Oh, yeah. She's been to many shows of mine.
Oh, really? Did she come to the warm-up show and see you warm up?
No.
Now you don't want to bring...
She was afraid of flying, so I'd have to fly down there and then fly back. It was just a thing.
And you were afraid of bringing a fucking chick in a bikini on the Seth Meyers show?
Bringing her to work.
Bringing her here, bringing her anywhere.
Oh, God, I would have fucking patted you on the back. Fuck yeah. If you walked in with that, God damn it. Came over, crossed your legs and fucking sat down. Hey, this is Mercedes. All right, well, listen, man. From just going through this literally a week ago,
yep.
It's amazing that because in the business we're in right now is fucked. It's fucked. They don't know what they want.
That's right.
They don't. I mean, there's so much shit everywhere. To get something made this way is almost impossible. It's hard to do it without anybody and have to build something and to complete it. And now it's in theaters and people can actually go watch this. Where can they go watch it and see this?
Well, we're going to be having a event on November 10th, Sunday at 4:00 at the Hard Rock in Midtown.
In Midtown.
Yeah, it's called The Venue. They have a screening room downstairs.
And people can buy tickets to this?
Correct.
That's awesome.
It's part of the festival.
So go check the New York Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go check this out.
You're invited.
I'm invited. I'm not fucking in it. I'm going to go watch.
Still want you there.
I'm going to be watching like, I could have done that. I could have done that. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. There was 2 guys you could have replaced with me. Fuck, I'm fucking hilarious. God damn it. They're giving you real thoughts. Sometimes, shut up. Anyways, it's all right. I'll be in part 2, you son of a bitch, when you get the goddamn game show. If I watch this and fucking this ends on a sad note, I'm going to hate you.
I marry the stripper at the end.
Nice. It's a dancer. All right, well, listen, man. Check this movie out, guys. Make sure you check it out when you see it, or go see it this Sunday.
Sunday, November 10th.
November 10th. Get some tickets. Pack this place out. What an interesting show. And support this stuff, man, because these are guys that are making stuff. This is something he had in his head, and they got this fucking guy, and they made it from scratch. And here we are. We get to go see it in a theater, and that's what this shit's all about to me. I love stuff like this. I'm very happy for you, and thanks for coming on the show. We're going to go to Patreon right now. We have questions from the fans that want to ask you guys questions. Make sure you go to punchup.live for all my dates. punchup.live/Robert Kelly. If you're not a member of that now, make sure you go there and just sign up. It's pretty. It's an email, and then you find out where I'm going to be. Point Pleasant, New Jersey. And then, of course, I'm doing the Comics Come Home on the 2nd. I'm going to the Miami Improv on the 3rd, a 5 o'clock show, me and Ari Shafir. And then we're going to Cuba while the election happens, if they get the electricity back on. We're going to be in Cuba while you guys are burning this fucking place to the ground, whoever wins. And then, of course, I'm doing the Missing Tooth Tour in Arkansas and Wichita. I'm doing the Cousin Fuck Tour. I'll be there. And then I'm doing the Dojo of Comedy in the 22nd and 23rd over there in Morristown. Great club. Love that fucking club. And then I'm doing the Beacon in New York. I got a lot of dates. Please go up there and check it out. And check out, of course, make sure you're watching this on YouTube. Just hit subscribe. If you want to support the YKWD show, we've been one of the longest running, if not the longest running podcast on the East Coast forever. Go to patreon.com/Robert Kelly and become a Patreon member and support the show that way so I can pay these fucking autistic kids to make sure they do things right. Danny, what do you got?
Follow me on Instagram at Danny Braff, and I'm going to be headlining in Boca Raton on November 24th at Sadman's Comedy Cafe.
Salmons?
And then this is Joe Russell. You should check out my cheese show by just going to YouTube, type in the cheese show. We got brand new guests coming out. We got a new set, and we got new cheeses.
Yeah, he does this. Him and his wife do this fucking little interstitial YouTube show all about cheese. I don't know why it's not on something. It's the funniest, fucking crazy, stupidest show ever.
We'll check it out.
You have to check it out. And I've never been on that either. So I'm just getting used to this.
I love it.
Goddamn Louis. He put me on everything. And Rye, what do you got coming up?
Well, check us out on Instagram at BWGS Film. You can also find me on Instagram at RR Comedy. And I'm going to be with Attell at Town Hall for the festival show.
How is it working with Attell? It's awesome, right?
Yeah, man.
He's the best.
He's really good.
He's the best. One of the best ever to do it. And he's still killing it. And then you're on shows with him. Danny was on the show with him too.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Well, I met Danny with Pete Lee, but then Danny's been on shows with Attell as well.
And you go up at the end and hang out.
Yeah.
How fun is that?
Also, Bobby said he's the best, and then Ryan said he's really good, which after the best kind of feels like an insult.
I mean, I know you don't have a budget,
No,
can you?
I'm sorry. I just like to let him sit in his horse shit. I mean, it's just, sometimes the funny comes in silence when you can hear just a fucking mediocre middler.
Hey, guest spot.
Guest spot. Does a guest spot on the fucking show. Shut up, Danny. I told him to talk. I told him, hey, you talk. All right, well, listen, we're going to Patreon right now to ask the questions. All the questions are from the Patreon. So if you are a Patreon member, go over there. If you want to be there and ask the guest questions, you go over there, join patreon.com/Robert Kelly. If not, do you have anything else going on that you want to promote? Just this movie?
Not at the moment. No, just the movie.
There you go. Check it out. I love it, dude. I love that you stuck to it, and you documentary film and filmmakers. I fucking love it, man.
It's a fucking grind.
It's a grind, but
we
you
do
know
'cause
what?
We love it.
It's because that's where it's at. I mean, I love Marvel. I love all that shit. I love big budget movies, but there's nothing like what you guys did. You had a thing, and you started from scratch, and you stuck it out to the end, and now you're right there at the finish line. So I hope good things happen from this movie. I really do.
Thank you, man.
Maybe I'll be in part 2 or your next documentary.
I'm working on trying to get an action comedy off the ground. I got a role for you if you want.
Thank you.
I'm actually going to do a documentary on cruise ship comics.
It's a good move. I heard it's a thing.
I think that's my idea.
I don't think they ever covered that.
Just put me in EP. I want to make money while I sleep. All right, man. Well, here, let's go to the Patreon. You guys are the best fans in the world. We'll see you next time on You Know What, Dude?